All right, people. The markets have closed up here for Tuesday the 9th, and we got some squeezes to cover. So, big day coming up tomorrow with the CPI report. And who knows, guys, maybe, just maybe, this might be crazy talk, but maybe, just maybe, the CPI report is the catalyst needed to get the market out of the range here. Get the market out of the box we've been trading in since April. We'll find out. But yeah, should be a big day tomorrow. But admittedly, as far as making a directional call, the market's a little bit of a toughie here. So on the radar for tonight, we'll take a look at the S&Ps. Got a few squeezes there. Take a look at the QQQ. We will take a look at Amazon, which was my #1 pick coming into the week. And for full transparency, we bought some calls there yesterday. Take a peek at Google, some Netflix, a little bit of HYG, and an honorable mention. Believe it or not, TJ Maxx has got a squeeze party going on. But all right, guys, for the S&Ps here, we have a neutral daily squeeze, a neutral hourly squeeze, and then a 15-minute bear squeeze that fired short into the close. All right, so here's why for me the market right now is kind of a tough read. We have the compression part of the equation. And a quick note here, guys, we got the original squeeze, so the free version of the squeeze, and then down here we got a modified version I'm working on. So don't worry too much about that. But we got the compression part of the equation. So we're building up energy, we're getting ready for a move, but right now trying to gauge which way that move is going to be. Does that daily squeeze fire short, or does she fire long? It's kind of a tough call here. Reason being, on my indicator, daily chart is neutral. So we're not bullish, we're not bearish. 4-hour chart is neutral. 2-hour, 1-hour, 30-minute charts, they're neutral as well. So never mind the fact we don't have a daily buy signal. We don't have too much here as far as a trigger for a big push on the lower time frames either. And until that changes, this could go either way. The key with the squeeze is trying to get a sense of, from the ground up, is everything in full alignment for a push higher or a push lower? So imagine if instead, inside of the daily squeeze here, from a 4-hour chart all the way down to a 5-minute, we're bullish. Well, then we get a pretty good gist of that daily squeeze wants to fire to the upside. Or then vice versa. Daily squeeze under the 21, and then your 4-hour down to a 5-minute are bearish. You probably look for that squeeze to fire short. But for now, the neutral nature of it is a bit of a toughie. So daily squeeze, crank it down to an hourly. We got another neutral squeeze, and then like I mentioned, into the close here, you do have a 15-minute squeeze firing short, with a 15-minute sell signal. So who knows, tomorrow we get the CPI report, the market could explode, we could fall apart, we could go absolutely nowhere. But for now, I don't have too much clarity in terms of the probabilities of that squeeze firing long or short. And now moving on to the Qs here. Them old Q-tips. It's a little bit of the same. Neutral daily squeeze. We're not bullish, we're not bearish, just kind of a little bit lame. And then for the 1-hour chart here, that's pretty lame as well. And then down on the 15-minute, you are coiled up here heading into tomorrow's open with a 15-minute bear squeeze. But as a general statement, all a little bit lame. A little bit quiet here. So there's a look at the indices. Again, could all change tomorrow for better or worse, depending on how you're positioned. But on my end here, before I buy the S&Ps or short them, or the QQQ, I got to get a bit more clarity. And for me, clarity comes in the form of that alignment from the ground up. If I'm trying to get short, ideally, out of these 8 time frames over here, as many of them are bearish as possible. Vice versa for a long. So there's the S&Ps and the Qs. And then, like I mentioned, Amazon here, the Big Zon, was my top pick coming into the week. So we bought some calls here yesterday in the Mastery. And we bought the 102 strike calls for next Friday's expiration. picked them up for about $4.70. Now, my advice this week was play it small. Everything lines up here for a big push, but the report comes out tomorrow. Market's a little bit pissed off. Amazon might fall apart. So at least up to this point, not a week where I think you're trying to put crazy risk out there. But as far as a pretty picture, Amazon is doing a pretty good job here of painting one. So from the daily chart down, you got the daily bull squeeze. Now on the free version of the squeeze, that technically fired long yesterday. And on the modified version I'm playing around with, we are still coiled up. But again, the real key here is you're trying to find that bull squeeze as close to that 21 EMA as possible. So that is nice and tight. Quick look at the labels here. 2-hour chart is bullish. The 1-hour chart is bullish. The 30-minute is bullish. And then you got a couple neutral squeezes here on your lower time frames. And these can be pretty nice to watch tomorrow as far as potential continuation. Or on the flip side, a potential reversal. But kind of like the discussion we had about the that daily squeeze over there in the S&Ps. If I'm trying to see the 15-minute squeeze fire long, and the 15-minute chart is neutral, at that point I'm looking for a 5-minute buy signal. If everything inside the 15-minute squeeze can get aligned for a push higher, then you're in business. So if you're looking for an entry here, you might want to keep an eye on the 15-minute and the 5-minute squeezes heading into tomorrow. But yeah, I like it for now, guys. That's it's a classic trade. Buy signals, squeezes, an entry near that 21, and we're looking for a push towards 110. Assuming the CPI report doesn't come out and rain on the parade, but we are playing it small for now. So Amazon continues to be my best pick for you. And then moving on here to Google, here's another one where we got the squeeze, we got the compression part of the equation, but everything's just super neutral. Weekly chart is neutral, the daily's neutral, the 4-hour, the 1-hour, the 30, and the 15. Not too much life to it. Think a bit more along the lines of an Amazon. The daily chart prints a buy signal, your 2-hour, your 1-hour, your 30-minute. Everything inside that daily squeeze leans a little bit bullish. So for a Google trade here, I'd like a bit more clarity. But if at any point this week inside that daily squeeze, our lower time frames start lighting up over here, wouldn't mind a little piece of the big Google. So patience on that one. And then we've got some Netflix. So for Netflix here, I'll show you guys this on the weekly chart. So on the weekly chart, on the original version of the squeeze, nothing going on. On the modified version I'm playing around with, we do print a weekly squeeze. So from that point of view, you got a weekly bull squeeze. Putting that aside, you are on top of your weekly buy zone with a weekly buy signal. So either which way, bodes well for the bulls. And then down here on your daily chart, there's another neutral daily squeeze. So your Googles, your SPY, your QQQ, Netflix, they've got the compression, or they're building up that energy. But this is where you got to lean into your lower time frames. They'll be the triggers, right? They'll give you the directional clues. And Netflix is a little bit quiet, but not too bad. 2-hour chart goes bullish. The 1-hour chart goes bullish. And then based on the notes here, for tomorrow's session, you might want to crank down and watch your 30-minute squeeze. But that 30-minute squeeze, very much like the daily, is neutral. So the key here, of course, is, well, for one, if the 30-minute chart prints our buy signal, even better. But at a minimum, inside the 30-minute squeeze, if the 15-minute can flip bullish, the 5-minute can flip bullish, that might be the trigger to get that 30-minute squeeze going to the upside. So keeping an eye on Netflix. And then last one for you guys here is actually HYG, the junk bonds. Now we've talked about this a few times in the over the last few months or so. In a perfect world, if you're looking for strength in the equities market, ideally HYG is actually leading the way. So at the moment, we are coiled up here in a daily squeeze. And while we don't have the official sell signal just yet, we are getting the early sell signal with that magenta dot. And then under the surface, the 4-hour chart, the 2-hour, the 1-hour, the 30-minute, them bad boys is bearish. So definitely keep an eye on that. This leans a little bit more bearish right now. Where if you put a bazooka to my head, yeah, I'd say that daily squeeze for now is gearing up to fire short. And typically it's not going to be too positive for the equities market. You're kind of looking for the opposite. So keep a very close eye on HYG. And then the honorable mention for tonight is TJ Maxx. So not a name that I tend to watch all that often, but got a bit of a squeeze fest going on here. So daily bull squeeze. You head down to your 1-hour chart. I'm sorry, you head down to your 4-hour chart. You've got a fresh 4-hour bull squeeze. Inside of that puppy, 2-hour chart is bullish inside of that. Got an hourly bull squeeze inside of that one. You have a 30-minute bull squeeze. And guess what you got inside of that 30-minute bull squeeze? That's right. 15-minute bull squeeze. And inside of the 15-minute, hold on to your hat, 5-minute bull squeeze. So from here you look for the domino effect. 15-minute squeeze fires long, or the 5-minute rather. 5-minute goes on to trigger the 15. 15 goes on to trigger the 30. 30 goes on to trigger the hourly. Next thing you know, your daily squeeze fires to the upside, and you are in business. So, not a name that I watch too much, but one of the cleaner picks here off of the nested squeeze scan. But alright folks, that is it for tonight. I am long Amazon, heading into tomorrow's CPI report. And what I'm hoping for tomorrow, once the dust settles, is we get a little bit more clarity here from the ground up. Again, if inside your daily squeeze, all of your lower time frames are bearish, it sets up a short. Vice versa, inside your daily squeeze, 5-minute, 15-minute, 3-minute, 1-hour, they're all bullish. That all kind of aligns it for a good old-fashioned rip to the upside. But for now, it is neutral, it is choppy, it is lame, and with any luck, that'll change tomorrow. But alright guys, have a great night. Appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the room tomorrow. Adios.